Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Rise of Industry, the capitalist production chain game, I guess. Right, we've set up, we've got a load of notifications. I know those by people, but they just go away and then come back if you click them, so they will come back. They're basically saying that your production chain is full here, we're waiting to send more stuff, and I'm like, well, I have optimized these production chains. My end product isn't full, so we're fine. Anyway, today we're going to be focusing on the little town up here called Matridge. Matridge has been kind of forgotten about and neglected so far because it's so far away from everything else. There's nothing quite like it in the south. We actually have got some buildings around here, so yeah, it is miles away from everything else. Now, looking around in Matridge, there are two things that like immediately grab my attention. Firstly, there is a liquor store. Secondly, there is a tailor's. At tailors, we can produce work clothes at a 25% increase in price. Not bad. They're complicated, but we could do it. There's also summer clothes, handbags, and winter clothes. Which, strangely, because there's no real seasonality to purchases, are the same price all year round. We also have a liquor store with beer, with an increase in price. Beer is actually really easy, though, because beer is barrels and hops. So, effectively, you need water to grow hops, and you need wood to make barrels, and then you're kind of done. I mean, apart from the whole fermentation process, but whatever. There's also whiskey, cider, which we've done before, but it's also a decent price, and brandy. And I think that's what we have to focus on, because brandy is 65,000. Now, it's got a lot more complication. It's got a lot more complicated production chain. Its production chain is definitely more complicated, but also 65,000. We're going to do some brandy. So brandy is made, of course, from wine that you ferment and you then put in bottles. So guess what we need? We need wine and we need bottles. Bottles are made from glass. Glass is made from sand. We know that. We've done it already. Wine is made from grapes. You may or may not know this. If you do not, I would be surprised. And also, have you been living under a rock or something? Wine is definitely made from grapes. You should know this. You really should. Grapes are grown at a vineyard. I feel like I'm explaining the very basics of Alcohol 101 for like 3-year-olds. But yeah, no, grapes are grown at a vineyard, which needs water. So we need water, and we need sand. Now, I also think that you need to ferment your wine in a barrel. So we're going to need wood for barrels. So let's actually check this. Distillery, brandy. Barrel, bottle, wine. Wine, barrel, grape, yeah. So we're going to need wood, water, and sand. Sand makes glass, glass makes bottles, wood makes barrel, water makes grape, grape and barrel make wine, wine and bottle make brandy. There we go, we've got it. So, we have some sand and water over here. That should be useful. Some others around here. We've got wood, quite accessible. So this should be able to be built in a pretty tight area. There's also natural gas here, so I don't want to get in the way of that because we might want that later on. Especially if we're going to do something complicated like setting up a train terminal. Because that'd be fun. We haven't had to do that yet because we've not been producing things that are particularly far away. The furthest away we've got stuff is here. But let's get going. So, I think the idea of building backwards was tempting, but I think that did cause problems last time we placed things in the wrong area. So I'm going to build forwards. So we're going to build at the very basic level and then go onwards. Base level, we're looking at water and sand. Water's the hardest one to place because that requires a large front. So something like that. How close can we get it to the town? Because that's the final destination. There. I guess we could put the vineyard on the way to the town. Sure. Done. Water here. I don't know how many siphons we need, so I placed all of them. And I don't know why there's a gap. Actually, I do. It's because the game is slightly lagging because of all the stuff we've got. Don't worry, it is, of course, a beta. That's an alpha, even. An alpha really, really early on, so don't really hold that against it. I mean, you can if you want. You'd be wrong to do so, in my opinion. But fair enough. I mean, in terms of future development, right now, this is what the game is. So hold it against it now if you want to get the game now, but for future development, it will be a little bit further along. Right, let's put the sand in here. I'll put some collectors in as well. I don't know if we need that many, so I'm only going to put like 3 down for sand. It's telling me... Oh, there is a green area there. It's just turned differently. Okay. Right, so that's our sand. Pause the game right now. So, water grows grapes. Okay, in which case we're going to need a vineyard. Not a recipe book, we need a vineyard. Vineyard, 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 vineyard. Ah. Vineyard actually isn't in the game. Yet the recipe is. That's frustrating. I just want to double check this, because that is exceedingly frustrating. This is not what I call a public alpha in that respect. I call this more a tech demo if they're actually broken elements. Brandy, wine, grapes, produced at a vineyard. Orchard, right, there we go. It's actually produced at an orchard right now. It says vineyard, but then it does say orchard. Right, that's what I suspected, that they basically said that later on it will be made at a vineyard, but right now we put the elements into the... I don't know why I'm just brandishing a pen at you. Right now they can be produced at an orchard. So my suspicion is what they've done is exactly what I thought they would do, in that they've moved all the elements to the orchard temporarily until they have a vineyard art done. Right, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that is fine. Let's place it here. And then production vineyard. Right. Now, we need wood to make barrels. And I think what we'll do is we'll probably put a road in here. Did that not work? There we go. I'm going to close these for now as well. So, we need barrels out of wood. And then they need to converge at roughly the same place, because we need the stuff from here to go to the same place. Okay. So we need a distillery as well, because that's convergent point. So if I put the distillery here... or here... No, I kind of want it near as possible to the grapes. Yeah, put distillery there. And then we'll put wood down. So we want a... lumberyard. And then I kind of want to make sure that we are as close as possible to the lumberyard. Add harvester. Ah. Come on. Rotate. There we go. Because that way we've got 4 of them like exactly opposite. We can place another one here. That will then need to be taken to a carpenter's of some kind? What is it that makes the barrels again? Carpenters, yeah. Which fits in perfectly there. Although that might have just destroyed the ability to get wood for that. I'm sure it'll be fine. And that will make barrels. So then the barrels will be taken to there, the grapes will be taken to there, that will make our wine, which we then need to take to somewhere else. This is why brandy costs so much money. It's because brandy effectively can be sold at wine right now. But we need to then have sand, glass, bottles, and another distillery. That's why it's effectively double the price. So we need the sand to get brought to a glassworks and smelters. I'm going to put it here just so that we're actually starting moving in the correct direction. And then another glassworks and smelters. Right. And then we need them all to go to one last distillery, where both elements are taken and put into our useful stuff. And I'm going to say that you should be here, and that we're all good. Okay. Let's get you started. Right, you are sand, 3, it's brandy, chain. I don't know why I bothered saying chain. You know what? I'm going to omit chain, because obviously it's a chain. Everything so far has had the word chain, which means it's unnecessary. Destination, factory, glassworks smelter 4, which will have its name changed to glass, brackets, glass, I think you're glass 3 or 2? No, I'm going to go with 3. And then you're brandy. Choose destination, factory. I can't change your destination until I get to the next one, because you need your production changed to bottles, at which point... There we go. Actually 2 bottling plants, so you must be glass 2. Yes. Then you are bottle 3, brackets, brandy. Yes, you are transporting, that's all good. Okay, and then you come production, brandy. And then I'd like you to take your bottles to factory, brandy. We'll name you brandy 1, brackets, brandy. Done. Meanwhile, over here, water siphon 10. Oh my god. Water 10! Brackets, brandy. Oh dear, 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 oh dear. Right. Please go to farm orchard 2. And you're going to need to produce as much as possible. In fact, in my experience, you're going to need more trucks than that. So we will increase the amount of trucks. We'll watch these as they go through. But I do suspect you'll need more trucks. You're going to be grapes 1, bracket, brandy. Note, this is the one time when using a plural. Grapes rather than grape. I think we're doing that for a few fruits, actually. I don't know why I'm noting my small points of how I'm making my nomenclature work, but, you know, that's apparently interesting for me. You should be producing wine. You are, which means that you should be destination, factory, brew and distillery 1, which will suddenly become wine 1, brackets, brandy. And then destination, factory, brandy. You might need extra trucks, because it's a little bit further to go. Over here, lumberyard. You're going to be wood 4, brackets, brandy. Destination, carpentry 1. You're going to be barrel 1, brackets, brandy. And then choose destination, wine 1. Done. I believe that is everything. Let's just double check. Yes. So, water, sand. Sand needs to go down the bottom because that's kind of a completely different chain, effectively. Then you converge at the end. Wood. There we go. Then that goes into barrels. So I need to place barrels up here. Grapes. Grapes need to go over here. Move you up to there. And then we'll also need glass, followed by bottles. Yep, this is a complicated system. Followed by wine, followed by brandy. There we go. That is not overly complex whatsoever. Right, let's try it out. Got a tiny little window here in which we can watch. Okay, so water's coming through. We're growing there. Wood is being made. Sand is being made. Sand is not really going through fast enough to cause a bottleneck or anything. There you go. Right, there we go. We are getting barrels through. I don't know if we're juicing wood fast enough to make wine fast enough. Oh, we are. We are. And there's our brandy. Coming out the other end. I think one of the issues we are having here is bottles, but we're not having bottle issues here. Here, the issue is we just can't produce it fast enough, I think. So maybe another brandy distillery is needed. That could be the case. Yeah, this is filling up very, very fast. If we was to double the amount of brandy we produced, we'd have small issues with barrels. We wouldn't really have an issue with bottles. I think the issue would be the wine. If anything. Okay, well that's easy enough for us to sort. If we... Aha! Remember the hotkey. Brewing distillery. I think... There. Close. This is complicated. I realize that. Production, I like to produce brandy. Then, because we've got this already up, we merely say destination. Choose a destination. Factory, Brewing Distillery 3. Make sure they've got 2 each. Destination. Factory, Brewing Distillery 3. No, I will make that 2 each. There we go. And you become brandy 2 brackets brandy. Right. Wine production is definitely faltering, which is fine. We can up that quite a bit fairly easily. Again, we're going to be pressing F to bring this up. We want another brewing distillery that deals with the wine issue. That's going to go here. We're going to call this wine 2 brackets brandy. We're going to change your destination so you don't provide to 2 anymore. We're going to make you provide only to wine. Then we go destination, choose destination 2. So that provides to that, that provides to that. However, we need to provide barrels and grapes here. So destination wine 2. Destination factory wine 2. Oh, come on. There we go. I'll get one less barrel. Okay, overview, overview. Right. Now, in theory, I know this is holding up, but this production chain doesn't seem to be an issue. In theory, we should be okay. You're not having enough barrels. Yeah, wood production's a little bit on the slow side. We could produce wood faster. Grapes are fine. Grapes are a non-issue right now. In fact, we could even increase the amount of trucks slightly. Grapes are a total non-issue. In fact, water's pretty much a non-issue as well. I've just got so much of it. This is full, this is full. Grapes, I want you to get out and get over here. You are full, you're not. You're also full of barrels, you're not. I've got destination there, set to both. Yeah, we could do a bit more wood. Just because I don't think we're actually filling up on barrels between the two of them. Either way, we'll actually start selling our brandy as well. So we're going to choose destination. We'd like to go to state, commercial, sorry, liquor store 1. Destination, commercial, liquor store 1. Okay. I'm going to ignore sand for the moment because we know that sand is a bit of an issue, but not massively so. I can't actually select, damn. You have to select the window to activate the stuff on the window quite often, it seems. Which is, oh, hello, look at that profit. It's because we're suddenly selling a whole load of brandy. Over a mil by quite a margin. Might make 1.5. Oh, 144. No, sorry, 1,044 mil. So, 1,044,000. So 1,440,000. I can words. Words are difficult. But yeah, that was because we were selling off a whole load of brandy that we had in store. 2 brandy places are working pretty well now. Although you could do with a few more bottles. I don't know why you're not getting them. The other place is full bottles. You're not actually getting the wine to... Nah. Maybe I should cross-sell everywhere. That way... everyone gets a bit of the pie, yeah. Because at the moment, if we get one issue on one side of the production chain, the other side shuts down completely. Like, if you stop taking wine to Brandy 1, Brandy 1 doesn't get any wine, Brandy 1 doesn't do anything. What we should do is go 50% to there, 50% to there, and 50% to there, 50% to there. That way, we should get reasonable. So we will get 2 to there and 2 to there. And then 2 to there and 2 to there. That way, if one of these stops working, they should still get a wine, although, you know, at half the rate, in theory. There does seem to be selection bias. Okay. You need more barrels. Like, straight up, I don't know why, but you're getting all the barrels and you're not getting any. And you admittedly are having wood issues, so we'll probably have to just make more wood. Which is fine. I can actually close this and I can close this. I know that water and wood are 2 things that are kind of okay right now, in that we don't have enough wood, and we have plenty of water. So we're going to go and grab ourselves some lumber. Oh, slowing down a little bit there. Okay, so 1 gap, 2 gap, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and oh god, a slight lag now because the map is getting pretty crowded. It's making it tough. There we go. Right. Destination, choose destination, factory, barrel 1. Done. And I'll buy an extra truck. We should see that barrels gets full up of wood. Because what I want to see is I want to see this slot here at 20 all the time. And I want to see this slot at 0, because that means we're transporting all the stuff we make, but we're working at full capacity because we have a full amount of effectively input products. Doesn't matter so much down here at the moment because apparently bottles aren't an issue. Look at these 2. They're working at max capacity as well. We could do with another brandy. Yeah, no, we could do with another brandy. This is going to get interesting. Okay, more brandy. I don't know, we're producing so much brandy. Apparently this one town can drink a lot of liquor. Fair play to him. Right. You are then Randy 3 brackets brandy, close bracket. Destination, commercial, liquor store. Brandy. There. Bottles, destination. Refresh, brandy 3. Now, we might start seeing bottle issues, but I don't know if that's going to be completely likely. We'll get brandy 3 involved with the wine. And here's a small issue in that we've now got 213. We probably want to reverse that and make it 312. Sadly, you can't click and drag to change them up the chain, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove everything. This is going to be 312, so that everyone gets equal priority. There we go. Look at that amount of wine, though. Maybe we should be selling some of the wine instead of turning it into brandy. But brandy's worth so much more. So much wine. You know what? We should probably, like, just sell some wine. Storage, storage, storage. You know what? We're going to dump, dump, dump. And then we're going to see how quickly it takes us to get back to peak capacity. Okay, so here we go. Brandy 2 has got wine already. And is 213 and 312. So you were... Yeah. So 2 and 3 have got it first. 1 is still lagging, though. 2 just got the second shipment because they're up to 3 and there are only 2 trucks assigned. Aha! Brandy 1 just got one. It's a very odd system at how it allocates. I'm not sure. There does seem to be some sort of hierarchy involved, and they will give to the first one, and then to the second one, and then the third one. But they won't do a round robin of 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3. They'd seem to do 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. I'm not sure how it seems to play out, but we are getting, again, fill up. I mean, we aren't hitting 0 on the wine. And we're already going to the max number of places we can with our wine. I guess what we could do is we could slow down the wine production by telling the grapes and the barrels to go to another winemaker, and then we could just sell the wine? Does the liquor store here like selling wine? Do you sell wine? They don't sell wine. They actually don't sell wine. So we can't sell wine here. We'd have to transport it across the state. Or sell it, you know, to state, I guess would be probably what we'd do. Oh, hello. Bottle issues again. Yeah, without a bottle coming here, you're going to be slowed down. And there we go. We're not producing because bottle issue. Ooh. Well, that's easy enough to solve. We know where the hang-up is here. Hi, sand. You know what? Yes, we will add the harvester there. The harvester's in the back end, right? And then F. Oh god, it's not F, is it? Which button is it for roads? Ah, well that makes a lot of sense. Oh, and then the road thing is not a flying menu, it's static. Okay. Right, that should increase the amount of sound we're making. Which, yeah, we're seeing that impact. We're not getting quite the amount of sound we want, but we are seeing the impact. Which is turning into glass, which we are getting in bottles, and then we do have bottles here. Hopefully we'll get another bottle here so that we aren't being held up. Oh, no, we're being held up again. Let's start transporting to the liquor store. That is actually better. That is actually much better. We're only getting a slight increase in wine rather than it building up to 20 very quickly, which means that, yes, we are just about breaking even there on the production cycle, which is what we want to do. We don't want to be backed up on wine, because that's excess production cost. Could be going elsewhere. And look at that profit we're making. Damn, should do brandy more often. Yeah, we're doing okay on bottles now as well. I think we can call that production chain good. I didn't realise, but you can press escape to get rid of all the little boxes on the screen. It's much faster. I would hate to be someone driving around this mess, though. Look at that. Also, those 90-degree bend, 90-degree bend, 90-degree... Our drivers will be very, very, very car-sick. Also, the incredibly short distance in which they stop. There's no deceleration, you just... Seatbelt, whiplash all the time. Right! Since that's done, and our profit is now over 1.5 million a month, I think we're in a good position. Although, this month we aren't doing quite so well. Why is that? What did we spend? Building construction. Ah, we spend 0.7 mil on something. Okay, so we made over a million if you ignore that 0.7. Let's leave this month and see what we get this month. Okay, we're positive by the 10th, which is a good sign. Because that implies we've made the building upkeep and the vehicle upkeep up. Well, the vehicle upkeep keeps ticking up. The building upkeep is once per month. So in theory, we should hit 1.3. It's a linear progression. 1 mil, 1 mil, 1 mil, 1.1. 1.13 mil. Not bad. Not bad at all. Brandy. There we go. Apparently Matridge really only cares about brandy. Supply and demand isn't really a thing in this game. It's, do you demand? Yes, in which case I supply, not, okay, how much do you demand? I demand this much. Okay, I supply this much. Okay, market forces change the price. That is because it's an alpha, though. That will probably change. But it's alpha 2, so I can abuse that all I want. Also, like Morth Hull, whose only real care in the world is magazines. Now, I think we're getting towards the end of what we can do in this game in an alpha without just digging into it and playing it for the sake of playing more of it, right? I think we've got to a good stage. I think that maybe there's one more production chain to do, and that should probably be something to do with textiles, because we haven't really touched textiles. With the handbags, which require rubber and leather, so, you know, we could do that. We've done leather a bit down here, though, but we could do that. There's fabric, cotton and dye, work clothes, leather and fabric. Fabric's actually really complicated because it involves dye and cotton, and then that's oil and coal and all that kind of jazz. And then there's chemicals. What? No, wait. Chemicals are something else. That's a completely different place. Chemicals actually need a gas to make them. But what was I talking about? Summer clothes. That's the one I was going to click on, which is just fabric. That's fabric and wool for winter. Work clothes is leather and fabric. So work clothes or handbags are pretty complicated. There's also a few other options if we go to, say... Where's furniture store? There we go. Office furniture. We've done before, I think. Did we do office furniture? Got some furniture down here. Plastic furniture. That's more complicated because it involves plastic and wood. And plastic needs oil and gas. And there's also... Oh god, where's the other furniture? Here we go. Wood, which is simple. Leather. I think if actually we check down here... Do you have someone that wants, like, furniture? I swear someone wanted plastic furniture and was, like, paying a fortune for it. Here we go. 125% on plastic furniture. The furniture store down here does demand plastic furniture, so I'm thinking that's what we should do next time. But we could do clothes, so I'm totally down to the comment section. Let me know what you'd like me to do next time. And for the last episode, we will make... production chain involving that. But for now, I've been the Brandy Baron. Like, subscribe, let me know down below what you want to see next time, and stay shiny.